Today we're at the Inn at Perry Cabin in St. Michael's, Maryland. This place is unbelievable. We arrived last night, and for dinner I ordered Chef Salter's signature dish, the lamb shank. Unbelievable, probably the best entree I've ever had in my life. And listen, I've eaten at some of the finest restaurants. Gosh, I've eaten at every Waffle House between Washington, D.C. and West Palm Beach, Florida. But seriously, we're going to be doing a segment with Chef Salter. I'm really looking forward to that. We've got a piece over here with restoring the wetlands. We're right on the Chesapeake Bay. Just a lot more going on. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Today we visit the award-winning Inn at Perry Cabin in St. Michael's, Maryland. Part of the famed Orient Express hotels, trains, and cruises collection, this circa 1816 property was featured in the 2005 runaway hit movie, The Wedding Crashers. Its exquisite accommodations and fine dining restaurant have been singled out for numerous awards. But today we're here to spend some time on the hotel's spectacular grounds. We'll take a stroll in the inn's woodland garden, where a shady canopy of old magnolia, holly, and cypress trees provide an ideal environment for the inn's collection of Japanese painted ferns, Solomon seal, hostas, and bear's breech. Later in the show, we'll visit with the Queen of Green, Joanne Effinger, the inn's gardener, who is responsible for all that is green in and around the hotel. Now, she looks a little bit busy now, so we'll catch her on a break, and then she'll take us on a tour of the hotel's greenhouse, which is a nursery for many of the plants you will see in the gardens, but is also open to guests of the inn, who can visit the greenhouse and are encouraged to clip fresh flowers and take a bud vase back to their room. Before we leave, we'll also visit the inn's kitchen garden to learn about kitchen garden design before joining the hotel's chef, Mark Salter, with a harvest that will take us on a gourmet voyage from garden to grill. And I hear Bloomin cooking, so we better check out the town of Easton for a Waffle House.
Joanne periodically gives the guests that are staying here at the inn lessons on different things. Today, we're going to be talking about planting in a container. So Joanne, tell us more than we know already.
All right. Well, first we have a nice container and we have soil, but the important part about planting the container is the soil and the content, because the growth that comes from it. So we want to start out with a good soil content, Bacto, which is very good, has lots of nutrition in it. And then I always...
And Joanne, when we talk about soil, we don't want the people to think this is not soil out of the garden.
Oh,
there's really
not.
No dirt in this.
This is potting mixture.
Okay.
It's a potting mixture that comes, that you can buy, that always has nutrition for your new plants in your container.
And great drainage.
Oh, great drainage, great drainage. We always mix the fertilizer next to go with it. Right. Of course, I take that for granted. So we put our Osmocote in it. It's a release fertilizer that works so well, 4 months and longer. Another thing that I use, I never plant without my trade secret, I must tell you.
Here it is.
Okay? This is a Electra. It's an organic fertilizer. It comes from a small operation. I think Longwood still uses it. I'm not quite sure. I never plant a plant without it. It works in pots fabulously. It works in clay soil. It'll break down your clay soil. You can use it all the time. Every time you plant, it doesn't burn because it is organic. So you just let it rip.
Joanne, are you the only one alive that can get this? I mean, we got 90 million people watching this show. They're going to want to buy this stuff. Is it available at different places?
It is available. Now, your nursery center should be able to get it for you. They do have to contact people like wholesale buyers. Okay. But you go to them and you ask for Electra.
And it's all organic
It's all organic. I've used it for 18 years. It's made me famous. People ask me, how do your plants grow like that? So, not as famous as you.
Okay, go on.
So there we go. So then the next key...
Secrets out of the bag.
That's true. The next key is your moisture crystals. These are wonderful product. I don't know if your guests have seen these, but They are wonderful. They help with keeping the moisture in the container. The containers, the terracotta, draw it out of the plant, so draw moisture out. So you have to keep moisture in the soil, and the best way is with this little polymer that people are using like crazy. The plants that love moisture, which is like, the elephant ears, things that have to be kept moist, really this is a must. And you put it down in the bottom, and you have to make sure the key is to mix up your soil with your moisture crystals, okay?
So what she's saying is when you water, these crystals that she put in actually absorb water and expand to like 10 times their size and slowly release that moisture to the plant as it's needed.
Correct. They keep moisture in the soil, but you don't want them laying on top because they will, so the idea is to mix this soil all together and prepare the pot. So maybe a little bit more of our fabulous potting soil.
Now, I know Joanne told you that the thing that made her famous was this fertilizer, but what makes her famous is the fact that she knows that the way to make a proper pot is the planting medium. That's the key. The planting medium is the key.
That's right. The longevity of the pot to keep it healthy and for it to growing.
Let's plant this baby.
Okay.
Watch how she takes it out of the pot.
Okay. Okay, you take it out. And of course you loosen up your roots, always. Loosen up your roots. Give them a nice little jolt so they start and they say, okay, start to grow. So we have a nice big calocasia in there for a lot of drama.
Okay, so now you're putting the drama plant in, right?
Right. This would be a nice drama plant that's going to cause all kinds of fun. Then we have a chocolate Lysimachia that was in there before, so I decided, you know, it looks pretty at home, so I'm going to keep it there. Next, I'm going to take a nice another little drama plant, a little hydrangea that I had growing in the greenhouse. We're going to take that and kind of give it a little room here and set that up in there, make a home for that one.
And this will drape over a little bit too.
It will, and actually I'm going to put a few other things beside it so it kind of gives it a little oomph, like perhaps
cascading over. Beautiful.
A cascading side. Hold on, we'll lift this up for a minute. Sometimes you have to work with it and create a few things, lifting and working together. Like I'll probably have to...
Want me to hold it for you?
Yeah, oh, that would be wonderful, thank you. And then give it a little base underneath. Here. There we go.
Better?
Better.
She's trying to plant it just below the base of the pot, the lip of the pot, so it cascades over a little.
I'm going to work on the other side for a minute.
Keep going, we'll follow you.
We're going to take a little Sinbad begonia, kind of a new species out. We're going to try and work him in here too. Sometimes it's a little bit adjusting.
Okay, Joanne, is there such a thing as planting too much in a pot?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think plants like to have company. I think they enjoy the lushness. It's really just, it just starts flowing. Those pots that you see that are huge and gigantic, they're all because they grow together, I believe. The ones that I plant that are nice and lush, they just seem to architecturally grow together, and they love being together.
I think more is better.
I always do.
The pot you put over by the rooms where we're staying, okay, that's a great example of mass planting. They're just beautiful.
They are. More is better. Love to complement different colors, different tones. Just try different things all the time. I think it's always, you find a new plant on the market, you mix it with something else.
She's a messy little baby, isn't she?
I tend to be a little messy.
That's good. Go get 'em.
I love my work, so I tend to be a little messy. Well, let's put this thing over here then. So there we go. How is that looking?
I think it looks fabulous.
Okay. Well, I was going to put a little bit of eupatorium in here, maybe over there.
Okay, so really, what Joanne told us is the potting medium is critically important. She added her fertilizers, her magic fertilizer. She also put in Osmocote, which is available anywhere. Anybody can find Osmocote. And then she'll just periodically water this as it's needed. And then you're ready to go. And I think one of the things I want to say is more is better. Right, Joanne?
That's true. That's true. And I do think I would recommend when you do pot a plant, you water it thoroughly, but you also pay a lot of attention to it and water it regularly. Pretty, you know, especially when it's newly planted.
Right.
And also, when you have a lot of things in pots, they tend to need more moisture too. And that's where the water crystals do help, because the more you have in a pot, the more they draw from.
Okay, so that's just another thing they do here at the Inn at Perry Cabin. Show the guests how to put up pots, and I'm sure there's a million other things. If you come, I'm sure you can find Joanne working out in the garden. Just pull her away. So tell you saw her on Bloomin' in the garden. She'll do whatever you want. Okay,
No
good.
problem.
Okay, let's go get something else.
Don't go away. Bloomin' will be right back.